5, 16, 19, 21, 30, 3 and 10. Check results. You remember?
You know when you got something stuck in your head, I don't want to sing it because I know I'll watch it back in about half an hour's time and cringe. But I've just watched the first 3 episodes of Dave season 3. Did my eyes just go across that I just said? I feel like they did. I'm kind of worried about that. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I've noticed that happening. And I don't know if I don't. Anyway, welcome back. I always forget to say that. Pod 115, I think. Pod a day. Doctor away. Here we are. Yeah, Dave season 3. As you know, I'm a big fan of Dave. I'm trying. I say it each year. I try and watch more films, watch more television shows, and so I haven't really watched any new television shows yet, which is the whole idea because Dave is something I've been watching anyway. But I've got some stuff on the list. Those shows consist of like Succession. Not seen any of that. Maybe I'll give that a go. Severance. Maybe I'll watch that. What else is on the list? There was more things. I mean, I want to finish Atlanta. Dave, that's 4. There was more. Like when I say a list, it's weird, but I do have an Excel spreadsheet for no other reason that it's kind of just fun to do. I don't know. I guess it feels kind of productive. Like it feels productive, you know, you're just having thoughts. So like, there's certain things which most people just sit around and just think of. I like to like put into something physical because I'm like, oh wow, it's like I'm doing something, even though it's not anything to. It's not to achieve anything. It's not to something. It's not for anything. It's just thoughts, but I'm putting them down. I don't know, for stuff I like to do that. Maybe it's weird. I don't know. Maybe it's not weird. What even is weird? You know what I mean? People are always like, I do this. I'm so weird. But it's like, is that weird? Is it really that weird? Like, what is weirdness? Is probably like, I don't know, running outside, ooh, blah, 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 like, you know, sticking your tongue out, you know, jamming your eyeballs and stuff, and like, you know, sticking your thumb up your butt and jumping up and down the middle. That's like pretty weird. Borderline like illegal. Don't do that, you know. But making lists isn't that weird. Let's just be honest, right? But I've got like a list of all films that I'm excited for coming out this year. I also score them out of 10. Yes, out of 10. I don't agree with the 5-star system. I prefer 10. I prefer 10, and you're allowed decimal points if you want. Equally, I would also allow 100 because it's basically the same thing. It's just instead of saying decimal point, you're saying it as a full number. Either one is fine. I just don't like Letterboxd. I do 5-star system. I just think it's not enough, man. It's not enough variation. I don't feel like I truly get to, like, I'm really giving an opinion on what's going on here. You know what I mean? It is also color coded, and it's weird because I'm not an organized person. I'm not organized at all. Like if I've got a bunch of stuff going on, I don't have a calendar. I don't make a rota for myself. I don't make lists. I don't plan out my day. I don't do anything. But for little fun things in my head anyway, like this, it's like, oh, let's make a little fucking list for it. That doesn't matter. But when it comes to like, oh, you've got to be here at this time, and if you don't, you're fucking fired. Fired. You know. So yeah. What was we gonna talk about? Oh yeah, I'm just gonna apologize. It's going to be a lot of football chat today, which I think people don't give a fuck about realistically. But a lot of footballing cool stuff has been happening, and also it's just been pretty slow. I've kind of went through all of the thick news. That word just made me think of something. All that thick news that's been coming through recently, and now we're left with just sort of the footballing stuff that's been going on, and waiting for just other things to pick it up. It's been pretty slow. The word thick didn't make me think of what maybe you would make me. Didn't make me think of what maybe you thought I just thought of. No, thick didn't remind me of Ice Spice is new music video with Nicki Minaj, although that's now something I could jump into the title instead of football. Which, by the way, I'm just gonna say right now, I don't get Nicki Minaj, you know what I mean? And I get a lot of people like her music, and you know that's fair enough. But like, I don't really get it, and it's not like I don't know. I think I've never really got it, even in her like her prime or whatever, when she had all the radio bangers. Like I just never really got the whole Nicki Minaj thing. I like her culturally, I guess, but like musically, I don't know. Like I feel like almost any other female artist who like they put her against, I'd probably pick over her. Like, which is dangerous to say because Nicki Minaj's fans will kill on sight. But like, I don't know. Like, I don't listen to Cardi B, but I'd probably say I prefer Cardi B. You know, I don't. Like, I mean, Little Sims isn't really the same. If we're talking about like, I don't know what kind of like just sort of flexing music, just sort of hype turn up music or whatever you'd call what they make, right? You wouldn't put Lil Sims in that category. So like, again, I don't listen to Megan Thee Stallion, but I prefer Megan Thee Stallion over Cardi B and Nicki Minaj. And Ice Spice, I'm not gonna lie, man. Ice Spice gets a lot of hate, you know what I mean? But I genuinely like. I think there's something there. Like, I'll be humming the songs, I'll be singing them along. Again, I don't actively listen to her either, and that's not because like I don't listen. Like, I have a no female artist rule. I don't listen to like many artists. Full stop. Like I make a playlist each year titled Creatively, the name of that year. When I say name, the number, you know. So this year's one. Yep, you guessed 2023. And I'll just add songs in it that I find over the course of that year. So they don't have to have came out that year, but songs I found that year. And I'll just listen to that playlist throughout the year. And that's I don't have it. I'm in a jazz mood, I'm in a this mood. It'll just be like, oh, new albums came out, I take the ones I like off the album, I put it into a playlist, and then that's the one throughout the year. So like, typically I'm never listening on shuffle either. It's always in order. So like, when it gets to an end of a song, sometimes that's in my playlist, but it comes on the radio if it's on the radio. Once it gets to the end of the song, my head naturally starts to play whatever song is next in my playlist automatically, because it just knows I've listened to it so many times in the same order. I don't know I think that's probably weird. I think most people do shuffle or whatever, and it's just like, yeah. But I don't know. I like the order thing. If I notice I'm listening in order and there's a song I get to and I'm like, I want to skip it too much, it's got to leave the playlist. It's got to get out. And but anyway, this is just me trying to prove I don't listen to many artists, because last year, the entire year, I don't think there's this many songs. There's probably like 50, maybe, but even more to prove it. This year, I mean, we're in April already. I reckon there's 6 songs in there. There's a couple songs from Lil Yachty's album. I can't remember what it was called. There's a couple songs from there. And there's like a Dominic Fike song in there. You know, Dominic Fike. So I've been listening just a lot of Brockhampton recently, because I'm a big listener of their music. They no longer exist, but you know, I've been listening to it like that. Anyway, I'm not saying anyone should respect my music opinion, by the way. I listened to the Ice Spice song. I'm just like, everyone hates an Ice Spice, and this is meant to be the GOAT, right? I just was like, I just preferred this whole songs much more when it was Ice Spice. But yeah, God, I'm in so many different lanes right now. I'm just trying to get back to like the straight and narrow. Wow, what the fuck, Ice Spice. Fucking music. My opinions. Yeah, don't take them. Like, I think my most listened to artists last year or the year before was probably Brockhampton. By the way, it's the same every year. So it would have been Brockhampton, it would have been Post Malone, and it would have been Jack Harlow, which I think a lot of people would say, oh, he was mad at this guy's opinion. Wait, he just told us his top 3. Never mind. The guys he's got, he's got shit taste. So never mind, it's fine. But sorry, we didn't know. We thought you was like one of those good taste people. No. Yeah, that's what my top 3 was. And it's like, I'm not ashamed. I just said it proudly in front of everyone. I like their music, and that's why I listen to it. I know Jack Harlow's most recent album wasn't the best, but you know, what can you do? I liked the prior stuff, and there was still a couple songs in that new one that I liked enough. Post Malone, I like. His last album didn't have much replayability for me, but if you want beer bongs and Bentleys back, that kind of sound, you gotta hope we get happy Post Malone back, because Hollywood's Bleeding and 12 Carat Toothache had a bit of a darker tone to it, and Brockhampton, I just like, they got such a variety of songs, man. But yeah, this year, not listened to it a lot. This whole music tangent was literally just because I said the word thick, and I wanted to say, no, not thick in that sense, just as a dumb joke, I guess, or whatever. But the thick in the sense I actually was thinking of when I said the word thick was thick water. Thick water, it's a thing. It's a thing that exists. I didn't know that. It's disgusting. It's water but thick. Think about it. Think about if water was thick, and now live in the reality that it is a real thing. I think it's to help with like indigestion or something. Apparently it tastes like shit. Well, bad. Not that it tastes actually like literal shit, but tastes something that can only be described as close to it. And I don't wish to drink it. I don't think. I don't. Basically, I think it's more like something you drink out of necessity. It's not like a choice. There you go. Earlier when I was saying, oh, this isn't weird. It's not that weird to make a list. It'd probably be more weird if you. It'd be weird if you liked thick water for just the taste. That's kind of weird. And only weird in the sense that it's you're in the minority. By that logic, it's weird. You're not hurting it. It's not like. It is pretty weird though. Yeah, a lot of football stuff. I mean, we're 10 minutes in. I said this was going to be football heavy, and I've managed to just tangent and waffle my way into doing half of this without even mentioning the football things. But Starboy Bukayo Saka has again missed in a pivotal moment. Obviously, the one that sticks out in my head being an England lad, if you couldn't tell, was that Euros final, which when I think back to it, it's just like, the world we could be living in if England, if we just won that penalty shootout, and obviously you say in the moment you're wishing or praying, you're like, give me this, please, just give me this moment, and I'll never wish for anything ever again. Of course, it wouldn't be the case. You'd win it, and then you just want more because we're greedy. But truly, like in that moment, I was like over there, just praying, and it was just like I had zero belief. Like Donnarumma looked huge in that goal. Donnarumma, I don't know. He looked huge in that goal though, massive. And the Sancho and Saka are waddling up, and they're so little, and it's just like, not that makes a difference, but I don't know. David versus Goliath up against the Italians. That's shouting, it's coming Rome, and it did. And just obviously Kane, Harry, both Harrys score, and then Saka, Sancho. It's just funny because when Sancho met, basically all the black players miss, and then they got all the racial abuse, right? And then they got subsequently all of this love, and they got all these letters and stuff, and all of these like murals painted for them because they got abuse for missing. So they ended up kind of getting more national love for missing than players who didn't even take a kick, because the whole country had to make up for the fact that they just got abused, so they had to give them a lot of love. And it's like the second it's happened again, people are calling Saka a fraud. They're calling him, I don't think they're racist. Well, they probably are somewhere out there. But like, they're calling him a fraud. They're calling him this. He's got to step up. He falls flat in these big moments. It's just like, it's crazy because he's still 21. And if anything, it speaks highly of like how good Saka is because he's 21. And like, people are talking about him like he's Harry Kane. Like, where are you in these big moments? Come on now, it's time to start stepping up. You want to be mentioned as this star boy. Where are you? And it's like, he missed the penalty. Honestly, I'm actually over the moon about it. I couldn't be happier. Like, I think I've came to the realization now. Obviously, I came to the realization a long time ago, but Chelsea's season is fucking dead and buried. And like, if we like have the season we've had and Arsenal win the league, truly it's probably one of the worst footballing seasons I've endured, because obviously Chelsea finished like 10th the season before we won the league, actually, with Mourinho. We finished, and then Hiddink, I think, ended it out. We were 10th, and that was a pretty sad season. But Leicester won that year. It was kind of like a break. No rival won. It was like this little Hollywood story, little underdog story. And that season was just losing. But Leicester won the league, and it was like Tottenham bottled it, and we had that moment where we like stopped Tottenham winning the league, and it was great. If we have a moment like that this season with Arsenal, oh my god, it would like be worth it, kind of. Not really. I'd rather be fighting for something and be in a competition for a trophy. But I could at least live with like trying to pretend like, oh, the footballing gods, this was the trade-off I accept. Like future me already accepted some trade-off. I'm basically, what I'm trying to describe is that future me, who's already seen how this league goes, was offered a deal. And the man said to him, you can have Chelsea to have a decent season. They'll be battling for top 4. They'll finish realistically anywhere between 2nd and 4th or 5th. They'll fight in the cups. I won't tell you if they definitely win a cup. I won't tell you if they manage to win the league or finish outside of top 4. But that is an option. And then it would be... Wait, how would it go? So that's option A. Okay, no, sorry. I fucked that. Option A would be Arsenal win the league and Chelsea have a decent season. They battle for a cup. Hint, hint, they might get one. like an FA Cup, and they're battling for top four. They're probably going to get Champions League spot, but Arsenal win the league. Or option two, Chelsea have one of their worst seasons in recent history, and Arsenal fight for the title throughout the whole season, but they'll miss out just towards the end, with Chelsea stopping them in their tracks. But you will finish in the bottom half of the table. What do you pick, kind sir? And I stood there and I took one for the team. I said, boys, I want to sacrifice a trophy. I want to sacrifice a good season. We're going to get a lot of banter. We're going to get a lot of stick. We're going to lose a lot of managers. And we're going to get a lot of stick. I said that already. But I'm doing this to stop Arsenal winning the league. And I would have accepted that deal. And I think future me made that deal. And if that's the case, and Chelsea had to have this terrible season for Arsenal not to win, then I can be happy with that. I can be happy with the fact, like, if right now, if you asked me, if someone said to you, Chelsea could make it to not win the Champions League, because that's insane to say, I don't want Chelsea to win the Champions League for Arsenal. No, because I would obviously say yes. Like, it would mean we won it with Frank. It would mean we're in the Champions League next season. It would be insane. I couldn't say no. I couldn't deprive us of that moment just so Arsenal didn't win a league. That'd be stupid. But if you said Chelsea to get into like the semi-final or to get into a final, so just a chance at winning it, or Arsenal, like Chelsea to get to the semi-final, basically if us to come back against Real Madrid, it's not enough though. Is that enough to say, yeah, we come back against Real Madrid? It's tricky. I don't know. Basically, it would be hard for me. Like, I would trade a lot just for Arsenal not to win, basically. That's what I'll say. How much? I don't know. But I would trade a lot. Because it's like it's rivalry. It's, you don't want to see him winning. And it would be funny because they kind of acted like they had won the league so early on. Like they were kind of celebrating a lot. And I think outwardly Arteta was trying to pretend that they weren't celebrating too much, that they was keeping their head screwed on. I think a lot of the players kind of felt they'd won it already. And look, they still might win it. Like, we was in a situation like a month or two ago when like we thought Arsenal had let it slip. They were on the same points. I think they maybe even dropped below City for like a couple days. And then City didn't take the opportunity where they could have went ahead. So City have been given opportunities where they could have went ahead, and they've kind of bottled them themselves, like little bottles, not like proper bottles, but they've kind of bottled them themselves in a sense. So look, Arsenal have presented opportunity. City might now play Arsenal at home and lose and fuck up the opportunity again, and Arsenal could still go on to win it. I would hate that, but look, the way the season's been going, not a lot's been going for me, so I wouldn't think it's unlikely. I'm just hoping for the best. Now, it's the only hope I got left for the rest of the season, realistically, because everything is done. But anyway, a shit has just came over me in the sense that I realised I just all of a sudden need to shit. And we've been going for long enough. So, I don't feel ashamed for saying I need to. And it's, it's fine. By the way, when I was in France, I got to I don't know if this, well, sorry. I was about to say I don't know if this is unhealthy. I know it's unhealthy. I just need to eat more, man. I'm like fucking, I'm just like, look how frail I am. And what makes me realise it? Not looking in the mirror and being like, oh, that's a skinny skinny lanky boy. But I was in Marseille, right? And I was probably 10 days in. And I was staring at the toilet, just walking past the bathroom. I was like, wait, I've only shat twice since the entire time I've been here. Been here for 10 days. And not because I've been holding it or because I've been starving myself or because of anything. Nothing. No reason. But just I've only felt the urge to shit 2 times in the last 10 days. I really don't poo that much. Even when I'm home, I really only poo once every, I don't poo daily, guys. I probably poo once every 2 days, sometimes once every 3 days. I probably poo 3-4 days a week. I feel like you're meant to poo 7. Some people poo twice a day. I don't wish for that. That honestly feels quite that's fucking intrusive. That's almost a burden on my life, having to poo that many times a day. Plus you get caught in public having to poo so many times. I hate pooing in places that are not home. I would never poo in someone else's house. Well, I would if I was obviously desperate, but I really don't want to. I really don't want to poo at work. I really don't want to poo anywhere, really. Because just it's just, I want complete security. If I'm pooing, I want to be in a enclosed box. America, what is it I don't understand why your stalls, there's like a full-grown man could just penguin slide under them. Why leave so much space? Makes me sick. Well, every time I see it, it's like, what are you trying to promote here? But yeah, no, I actually really do need to poo, so that wasn't a joke. Why would I joke about that? This is 115 and 116.
Here with the kids, and have like 3 kids, and the geezer was probably on like maximum 20 bags a year. Like the most boring bloke you'll ever meet. Like,